Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Urban Renal Talk with Tamika and Steve. I'm Steve.
I'm Tamika.
Hey,
Welcome.
welcome. What's going on, Tamika? How's everything?
Everything is well. I've been reading some newspaper articles about the increase of chronic kidney disease down south.
Hmm.
So that's
Hmm.
been really on my mind. Is really concerning me of what's going on.
Right, right. Absolutely. It's a lot. Before we talk about that, we have our guest on here, Bridget Kandi Rayne. What's going on, Bridget?
Hey.
We didn't want to leave you out. This is gonna be a good show. But yeah,
Mhm.
Tamika, that excuse me, that article is really disturbing. It's an Bridget. It's all states in the United States are experiencing an increase in their CKD burden. So,
Mhm.
and it's really bad. What did you say, Tamika? About 56% increase?
Yeah, a 56 increase since 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, and the states that are hitting worse are the southern states,
Mhm.
Mississippi, Mississippi was first,
Right.
Louisiana, Alabama, West
Mhm.
Virginia, Georgia, Arkansas, South Carolina, Kentucky, Indiana, and North Carolina. And we know people, I can tell you right off the top of my head, people in pretty much all these states that are
Mhm.
Facebook fans. Now, this
Mhm.
is really just astounding. And Bridget, you're in Georgia.
Yes.
You're in one of the states that's on the list, even though we knew each other when you was up north at Baltimore, Maryland. But have you seen an increase in dialysis since being in Georgia?
I can't really speak on that because I've only been here a year. I don't know what it was like prior to, but a
Mhm.
lot of my move, and the purpose of my move was to come down here and get on another state list.
Mm-hmm.
And from my research and my studies and speaking to doctors and other patients, there were more transplants that were being done in the southern states. Not only were there more transplants, there were more viable transplants. It wasn't a situation where
Mm-hmm.
someone got a kidney and it only worked for 2 months or a year,
Mm.
but it was something that was a long-standing kidney. And I had already been on John Hopkins' list for 5 years.
Right,
And being at
right.
the top of their list, I felt as though, okay, now it's safe for me to go ahead and make that move. And
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I will continue to be on John Hopkins' list and at the top of their list and come down here and be on Emory's list. So that's
Wow.
exactly what I did. So
Right.
I am active on John Hopkins' list, and
Okay.
I had a little bump in the road back in March of this year, why I did not immediately get on
Mm-hmm.
Emory's list, because I ended up having a couple of heart attacks. And right now I'm just in that period where I can't do pretty much anything because of the Plavix and things that I'm on to keep my blood
Mm-hmm.
thin and my blood flowing. But
Right.
it's not an issue and or a problem because they are really on top of what's best for me, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
on top of what's best for me.
Right.
Right.
So I more than likely this coming March, when I go back for another set of follow up checkups and things of that nature, I'll be placed on the list. So I'm not
Right.
concerned about that.
Mm-hmm. So,
Uh,
Bridget, let's just
Yes.
get right to it.
Okay.
How did your journey start with kidney disease that led you to this point talking to us today and being married to another kidney warrior and doing dialysis at home? How did your journey start to lead to this point?
Well, honestly, diabetes and high blood pressure is what got me in this situation. Um, three
Wait a
plus
minute. Type one or type two?
type two.
Okay. Okay.
Gestational diabetic with all three of my children. My last child, it just did not go away. And, there was a bit of, and being transparent here, there was a bit of hard headedness
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
took place on my behalf. Oh, it's not going to happen to me. I'm good. I'm straight. It can't be that bad, so on and so forth. Not understanding and realizing that, my dad was diabetic, and I knew that all of my life. But there was a period of time that my mom was diabetic and didn't know.
Mm.
Going through the process and learning family history, my mother was number 10 of 10 children.
Mm.
8 of the 10 children were diabetic.
Mm.
My dad
Wow.
was number 2 of 4 children. All four had diabetes.
Mm.
Three of my father's siblings, no, two of my father's siblings actually were on dialysis.
Mm.
Mm.
My mom was on dialysis for a period of time and was taken off. And with all of those factors being involved, I was really not educated on what could happen to me.
Mhm.
Right.
Wait a minute, my husband's machine just went off. You got a 10. What's going
Hey, Courtney, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
on? So, we just gonna troubleshoot and keep on talking.
Okay,
um,
Okay.
and that's good. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's great that we can see what you're doing right in the midst of you know your issue. If you got to have to get off for a moment, just let us know.
oh, okay. No, we're good. And what's happening right now? He got a message on his machine stating we got a red alarm, and that it's just saying there's air in his venous line. So the pumps stopped, and we have to detect where the actual air is at and fix the problem and get him back on running. He actually got on a little late. We had some technical difficulties
Mm-hmm.
with getting him cannulated because of the way his access is. And that's
Mm.
one of
Wow.
the things, training with him and we training with each other. We've learned each other access so that we can troubleshoot those things.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So that's just a whole nother part
Did
of
you
the journey.
did he get the alarm
Yeah,
reset?
he's good.
He's off and running.
Yep.
Great. That's the most important thing is making sure that his treatment gets completed. So
Oh, definitely, and that it's not a situation where he gets clotted or anything, because we not trying to lose any blood.
That's right.
hmm
So, Bridget, do both of you guys use the same machine, or you have two machines in the house?
Actually, I can turn it around. We have
good
one
question.
camera. Say hi, Will.
Hey, Will.
How y'all doing?
Okay,
All
Hi.
right.
so this is he calls his machine Optimus Prime,
Transformer
and
food.
over, I don't know if you can see mine on the other side of him. That's Trudy, and
Okay.
we have we have one chair in between both the machines. We actually do not run at the same time. The only time that we've ever really ran at the same time is when our son was here, and I ran, say, the bags opposed to the pure flow on the bottom of the machine.
Okay.
hmm
So that would only we've done that once. And he runs for four 4 hours 20 minutes, and
hmm
because my pump speed had to be reduced, I run 4 hours 45 minutes now. But
Okay.
Mhm.
we're working on that, getting me back because I had a little stench in the hospital, so on and so forth. So I mean, it's all about adjustment and making it work for you and what's best for you and your
Mhm.
health. And I have to say, what's been working and the things that we have been doing has made my labs absolutely stellar. So I'm elated. My husband's labs are stellar. We're
Mhm.
elated. This is going to home dialysis has been the best move for us
Mm-hmm.
and for our
Mm-hmm.
health. And
Right.
it's very, very, very empowering. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot tell you how empowered we feel.
Mhm.
Right.
Are you?
So, Bridget,
Yes.
for the audience, I mean, a lot of people don't know this, that I used to be the charge nurse where you received treatment when you was here in Maryland. In fact, that's how we met.
Yes.
Um, I seen you during the times where, your treatments didn't go too well. Some days were good, some days was bad. I seen you at your worst moments, at your best moments. But since moving to Georgia, um, has that opened you up? Because when you was here in Maryland, I mean, you communicated with the other kidney warriors in the unit, but you was pretty much to yourself. So, how did the move to the clinic in Atlanta get you to a point of opening up to meeting someone and getting married?
Well, I would have to say that was more so him. Because, like you had mentioned, I would speak to everyone as I came in the clinic. I crack a few jokes, I'll bring some cookies or candy apples in and share with everyone. But I would basically, be on Facebook or go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really a TV person or, sat up and was very social and things of that nature. But Will was kind of like the clinic celebrity. There's always a clinic celebrity.
Yes.
Right.
There's a talker, there's a complainer, there's one that raised all kind of hell. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's
There's
good.
all sorts of characters inside of each clinic, each shift. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
Will was pretty much the clinic celebrity, and he walk in and they whisk him in and get him on a chair, and Big Will's here, Big Will. I'm like, who the heck is he? He moved to Barbados or something, what's going on? But he he put things in motion because I had been visiting but didn't know, like, oh my god, am I gonna make this move? This is like 600 miles away, and these people down here country, the fear of moving and starting over again, and am I gonna get a kidney, and where am I going to live, and what am I gonna do, and are these doctors going to know me, and how is this clinic gonna be? Because Steve, I have a little bit of an attitude, just a little. I'm a nice person.
Right.
What? but
Oh, Bridget, I seen that during the times at the clinic in Baltimore when you come in and
fire.
your machine not right or
Yes,
something,
yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes,
problems with your arm or had to go to access center.
yes. I'm not having it, and I refuse to accept substandard care from anyone.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
do not accept substandard customer service at all. If I treat you with respect, I expect you to do the same for me. You give me fever, I'm gonna give you fever back, and that's just all to it. And we gonna get it right, and we gonna move on, and we gonna be straight afterwards.
Right.
So,
Okay.
that was a concern. Getting used to a new doctor, getting used to new techs, just how they do things. Because there's certain states that allow nurses to do things
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
certain states that allow techs to do things. It just
Absolutely.
depends on where it is that you're at. And it was a question of me getting educated on how they do things. Because when you in Rome, you do as the
You're the
Romans do.
one.
But I tell you what, you mess up with Bridget, you
Right.
gonna do how
That's
Bridget
what
have
we
you
do.
do. And
Absolutely.
that's it. But anyway, um, Will noticed me, and he had asked a few questions to our nurse, and our nurse explained, "I'll find out and see what's going on." And she asked me a few questions, and through course of conversation, how you nurses and techs do. You talking about just everyday stuff. And I let her know that I
Right.
said, yeah, I was single and I was new. And what he did is the following treatment is he had his seat moved next to me within range so that we can have a conversation. And we talk, he over here giggling. um, we had a
Wow.
group conversation. Everyone in the clinic had a group conversation. But what he did was have the nurse ask specific questions so that he can get information. Got that
Wow.
Mm.
information, and I left because he was on third shift. I was on second. I left, and she called me, and she said, "Someone is interested in getting to know you." And I was like, "Who?" I'm like, who could it possibly be? Because he was real smooth with it. You know what I mean? He was just real general. I said, okay, fine. We'll exchange numbers. And we talked. And that first conversation, by the time we got off the phone, he said, look, give me 2 weeks to get some things together. And I want to take you out. Okay, I'm new in town. Like,
Get that
okay,
free will.
that'll be fine. And one of the things that really impressed me about him, and I was just awestruck, was that this man worked 12 hours a day,
Mm.
sometimes 6 days a week, and still came in and ran 5 hours of dialysis.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Absolutely. And I'm like, you don't have time. The only thing you got time to do is sleep.
Wow.
I
Mm.
admired him. Never missed a treatment. Never was late.
Mm.
His fluid was a little off, which
Right. Right.
a good woman to have you act right. His fluid is good now.
Right. Right.
But I truly admired the fact that he would be on for 5 hours, and then
Mm.
you just work 12 hours.
Mm.
And you got to get up and do it again, and you're doing it 6 days a week. And during the course of our first conversation, it was a bond that we had, that we understood. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand. You still have to live life
Mm-hmm.
and do dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, you still have to put your best foot forward and get all the education that you can.
Mm-hmm.
So, knowing his working hours and how long he was on the machine and how much fluid that he was gaining, it was really the suggestion of our nephrologist for him to try home dialysis so that he could actually not be on the machine as long, not run as long, still be able to work and not be confined to a clinic essentially for another 6.5 to 7 hours, because you don't go in and get right on the machine and you're right on the machine and then you get off the machine. It's
Right.
still a lag time of a half hour, 45 minutes,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
after you get off. So rough days and sleepless nights,
Mm.
that he was kind of going through. So yeah, we met at Davita. Our nurse played matchmaker, and she did a very good match because we work together. I,
Mm-hmm.
I I must say, and this is not fluff. You know, he's a wonderful, wonderful man, and
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
he compliments me, and I really believe that I compliment him. And dealing with dialysis and just even trying to date, I cannot tell you. As soon as somebody find out, you got a terminal illness and it's dealing with blood and stuff, pew,
Have
gone.
you
Mm,
Like,
experienced that in the past?
oh my goodness, yes. And then I even went through. I would keep it a secret.
Mm.
I wouldn't even tell a gentleman that I was dating that I was doing dialysis. All he thought is that I went to work.
mm.
I would.
But
I'm sorry.
why is it why is it so scary for them? Like I don't understand. Are they ignorant to
You
the
know
fact
what?
of knowing what
Honestly,
dialysis is?
people, and we'll just say people are uneducated as far
Right.
as what's
That's what
going
I'm saying.
on. You know, just the only thing they know is my auntie or my uncle or my granddaddy. We drop him off and
Right.
pick him up, and he tired and wants something to eat. That's all they know. You know what I mean? They don't
Right.
take the time to actually know what's going on. And with me, even being in the motorcycle club, and
Right.
some people being ignorant, shall I say, to what dialysis is, we go on a ride and everybody's rushing to get to the bathroom. They getting their gas, they run into the bathroom. I'm sitting there like, okay, let's ride. And they're like, you ain't got to pee? No.
Let, let me
Well,
ask you
how is
this.
that? You a woman. Women always got to pee. My kidneys don't work. I don't produce urine. I can't.
Right.
It won't come out.
Right.
That's why I can't sit here and drink all that you drink.
Right.
Bridget.
And that it like they just cannot conceptualize you're human, you drink, it's gotta come out.
Right. And
Like
especially riding a bike, the vibrations make you have to go to the bathroom when you ride the motorcycle.
I'ma tell you, if I could have a tank that could take me from here to California, I could probably ride from here to California without peeing at all. And I mean
Mhm.
it's and
Right.
not to be, nasty or anything. I may get one or two drops in a week,
Oh
and I'm
wow.
happy. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Hey, Bridget, let me
Yeah.
ask you a question. Going back to the dating, because this is, excuse me, relationships and kidney disease is big and something that a lot of people don't talk about. Um, one
You know,
person who talks about it is Tamika's cousin, sometime Alexandra Garland, Tamika. But that is a issue that really is not talked about. But let me ask you this: by you experiencing that, do you think maybe the person or people who may find out that someone has a chronic disease or something, they don't want to quote be maybe feel like they may be a caregiver at some point?
I honestly speaking to you, I think a lot of people nowadays are just selfish.
Mhm.
I think they are. It's a microwave society. They want things right then, right there, and then if they're not gratified right there, right that minute,
Then they don't want it.
then they're out. You know what I mean? I can honestly sit here and tell you there were gentlemen that I dated that knew, about my kidney disease, and they're like, you know what, you real good people, but I can't deal with that aspect of it. And they see me now happy and married and living the same life they are. Although
Right.
it's a degree of difficulty for us, that does not stop us. We
Mm-hmm.
still go on cruises. We still go on vacation. We still hang out with each other. We still
Absolutely.
have kettle nights. You know what I
Right.
mean? We're husband and wife. We still are intimate with each other. My life is no different than anyone else's, other than I'm on a machine for 4 hours.
Right.
So
I
how
think
different is that than you going to work for 8? Do you know
right.
what I mean? I make
I,
dinner
I guess.
every night, you know?
I think some of the issue is the lack of knowledge that they have, and what they hear dialysis is, oh well, so and so, my uncle, he died from dialysis.
Yes.
So I believe that's what they go on versus learning and taking the time to learn what dialysis is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
if they did that, then maybe they'll be willing to stay in a relationship because something may happen to them.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
know, something
Absolutely.
may happen to them. And I just think more education needs to be out there to let people know dialysis, you don't like, you can't catch it from it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
if
let
they
me.
they're not catching it. They're
Sandy.
just ignorant.
Sandy made a interesting statement. She says, Tamika, because of decreased sexual desire, dialysis for dating, it comes into play. Do you think so in some aspect? Because especially with men who are with some men on dialysis, they may have issues with sex, erection, because of high blood pressure medicine.
Right, Steve, but a little, and don't mean to go X-rated, but a little foreplay can go a long way.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
hey, hey. But
Right, right. I
look, let me just
understand.
put this
You
out here.
know, it's
Af-
all in that individual, of
It
what they're
is.
willing to
Absolutely.
learn to do. Because if you can't do that, well, maybe you could do this.
Right. Now, I will
Mm-hmm.
say this.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't never had none of that problem. Not on count. Okay.
Right. Because I know some women battle with vaginal dryness, but I tell some of my patients, like, get the KY jelly, like, keep it moving.
Right. But
Mm-hmm.
see, a lot of that, and I want to go back a little bit on that part. There was a time because of the dialysis, because right now I'm like 3 shades darker than I was before I started dialysis.
That's the poison.
Um, I have blotches all over my skin. I have marks all over my body from catheters. There's scars and things of that nature. And some of those things will make you feel unattractive. You know what I mean? And then you'll feel like ain't nobody gonna want me. You know what I mean? I have these things going on, and that's the mental part of
Right.
the dialysis and dating and feeling inadequate. And that's why it's important for you to be right, you to
Hmm.
be
Mm-hmm.
right before you even try to attempt,
To date.
knowing that you have a terminal illness. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
have those things. You got to be right with you first before
Right.
you can even try to give yourself to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
there becomes a period and a point in time where you got to get that together before you even attempt to
To
date.
date.
And
Hmm.
then, there's people that got other stuff going on besides dialysis that just compound it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Right.
You living at home with your mama and them. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're
Don't
not
have
out
an
on
income.
your own.
Hmm.
There's other factors that come into play, and then and in addition to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
Hey, Bridget, is your husband on the transplant list?
no, he is not as of yet. He has some barriers that he has to get through as far as weight loss before they will
Hmm.
allow him to get on the transplant list. So
Mm-hmm.
as we're together and we're home, we're working on losing the weight, changing our eating habits because I like to cook.
I've seen all those videos in the summertime of those
Yeah,
barbecue
Barbecues.
backyard cookout.
Yeah, I have to get better with that, and I don't mind vegetables. I've been pushing, trying to go vegan. He is not trying to hear it. He is not. I mean, it's an uphill battle. I have gotten him to actually eat cauliflower rice and cauliflower mash. So I
Mm-hmm.
got to put gravy on it for him to eat it. But, it's better
Okay.
than him having the rice and
No,
the carbs.
absolutely.
So it's work in progress. And I have to say I'm so excited because those little changes, like drinking the alkaline water when we take our medications or when we eat, it really
Yes.
makes a difference. Our lab, Steve, this man used to go in that clinic with 7 kilos on him every
Mm.
time.
Oh, that's
7.
poor heart.
The most he put on now is 2.
Wow.
2.
Good.
2.
Amen. That's great.
Wait,
That's great.
He,
phosphorus
he was beating his heart
3.7.
up.
Phosphorus 3.7. I used to have phosphorus at 7 and 8. My phosphorus is 3.4. You can't tell me. And it's all,
Congratulations.
thank you. It's all a point of listening, taking your bindings, not missing a treatment, watching what you're eating and paying attention.
Mhm.
It works. It really, really works. And you gotta want to do it. And what irritates me a lot about some dialysis patients is that they believe the doctors, nurses, and techs are there to save their lives.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I get it. But they are there to assist you save your life.
Mhm.
That's what they're there for. You have to educate yourself. You have to take care of yourself. They are educated to handle you in an emergent situation. When you leave dialysis, they're not walking with you.
Mhm.
They're not over your shoulder. They're not your personal paid trainer that walks. You walk 4 steps, they walk 3. You have to walk that walk. You have to take care of yourself. So you have to educate yourself as to what
Mhm.
it is that you're doing. If you laying in the bed and you don't feel like going to dialysis just because you don't feel like going to dialysis, whose fault is that?
Mm.
How can that doctor fix that for you if you don't go? They
Mhm.
gave you the tools to help yourself.
Right.
You now have to empower yourself and do it.
Right.
So when I was in Baltimore, I was doing a lot of advocating, speaking to a lot of other patients and encouraging them not to get caught up in the rigmarole of dialysis. Like
Right.
getting caught up in, oh, I'm always tired. Oh, I always don't want to do this. I don't want to
Mhm.
do that. You got to find the life in you and live it.
So
Find a
true.
hobby. Do something other than sitting in a chair watching TV. Because if you don't walk around, if you don't use your muscles, you'll get weak.
Mhm.
You'll start to have situations whereas you get in that rut, and then here comes that old boy depression. I
Mm.
know with me,
Mhm.
insomnia. That was where dialysis and I had our biggest bouts because I couldn't sleep, and I would get up and I would bake, and then
Mm.
that's how I would finish my baking orders and things of that nature. Um, but that was a way to do something instead of having those morbid thoughts, because I'm not the only one
Right.
that
Oh,
when you get
absolutely.
in that state, you start thinking about what happens if my heart stops on the machine,
Right.
or what if I bleed out and can't stop bleeding,
Mm.
or you know they talk to you about the phosphorus and calcification. It's like, oh my god, what happens if it happens to my foot and now they got to amputate my foot and
Right.
now they took my foot, then it's coming up my leg. You know what I mean? Or
Mm.
my access blocks off and they got to put the catheter in, and what if it gets infected? You know what I mean? You got all these variables
Right.
going on in your head, and depression is a whew,
Really?
Right.
it
Right.
it can get you. And I'm just being real about, me and what goes on. And Will get on me and he'll tell me, we're not accepting the spirit of fear. We're not
Mm.
accepting the could ofs, and you know, we're not allowing any of that to enter our space. We're going to do what we need to do and how we need to do it, when we need to do it. And we're not accepting no, or we can't, or it's not possible.
That's a great attitude to have.
Don't speak that into existence.
Absolutely not.
You know.
Absolutely not.
So, do you think your move to Georgia enlightened you more on like bettering your life while on dialysis? Are
I
you
will
became
tell you
more
this: the education level that I received going to home dialysis is through the roof. I learned so much about me, um, the act of dialysis, how to take care of myself, how to take care of my husband, um, the actual dialysis process. Because when you go to home hemo, they actually sit you down with that cartridge and they explain what
Mm,
each piece of tubing does, what it's there for, how it's there, what it's going to do, when they work with each other, what they do, and
mhm,
what the outcome will be. Never had that explained. I knew there was a filter thingy. Never knew that
right,
it was really, a dial. After hearing
Hmm.
somebody say dialyzer after a while, I knew it was a
right,
filter thingy. It was tubey thingy. There was, saline, and you got two needles.
right,
You know what I mean? I actually know what the terms are. I know what they are. I know what a bevel is. You know what
right,
I
Yeah,
mean? Things of
absolutely.
that nature. The education level is through the roof.
right. Bridget, when you put that needle in, do you turn it?
No, I do not.
Thank you. Okay, okay.
I do not.
What is that quiz?
I just was testing you.
No, no, absolutely do not. And
Tamika,
that trained us
educator.
to earn that. Oh my goodness, she would pop me in the back of the head if she saw me flip that needle. You hear me? But
Listen.
they were excellent trainers and they're on it. You know what I mean? Constantly calling, checking. Are you all right? Are you good? Do you need anything? Um, Inventory, supplies, just they're on it. We honestly do not feel like we're just numbers on a chart, or
Right.
a patient filling a seat for that
Mhm,
moment in time.
right.
It's something. I will say I do kind of miss the sense of family that we had during our
Hmm.
shift.
Right.
Um, and actually, what happened as we were dating, they moved us on the same shift.
Ah,
So we would
Wow.
come in together, but they would not sit us together. He would be
right.
on one side of the clinic, I would be on the other side of the clinic. But all we would do is FaceTime each other.
Right.
So,
And
Wow.
they did that just in case something happened.
yes,
That right there is traumatic. So
they
you know,
they explained all of that,
yeah.
they couldn't have us sitting together. But they would be interested to see, us coming in and us just being a couple, us getting our little smoochy poos before he got on the machine. And we had a
Right.
whole we had a battle between each other, like who would lose the most weight before our wedding, and
Mhm.
had the whole clinic placing bets and stuff like that.
Wow.
Who won?
So it
Who won?
I did.
Okay.
I
Okay.
did. You had a question in your head. I did.
Hey,
And
Bridget.
I have to say I sabotaged him a little bit because I would, put a little extra on his plate and I would make stuff that he wanted. So,
And he would eat it.
without question.
Yeah. Hey, Bridget.
Yes.
During my career, I actually met maybe three other married couples on dialysis. One was back in the early '90s. It was a Chinese couple at a unit, and then in the in the late '80s, it was an older couple at one unit, and you're right, they put them on each side of the unit even back then.
Oh yeah.
So and then there was a couple here in Baltimore at Bond Secure Hospital. They called them Ike and Tina Turner because they look just like them. I mean, that's you get.
I
But
think
it's
if
funny
they
you
said,
mention that because they affectionately call my husband Big Will. He's a
oh,
big dude, They
Uh-huh.
ended up calling me Little Will. So when we walk in the door, they be like, Big Will, Little Will here.
I think like
So
if they show more like relationships can happen on dialysis, like it'll spark something because so many people are depressed because they don't have that significant other. And I think it'll give them like a little more hope.
I I agree. You need me, babe?
Nah, don't you cook machine.
Oh, okay. We good. Well, he's done. He's getting ready to pull his needles. I am gonna
Oh,
have
can
to
we
put
see
my
that
mask on.
procedure?
I'm sorry.
Can we see that?
Sure. Just 1 second. I'm gonna place the phone down because I gotta put my mask on.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
That's right, PPE.
Hey, Tamika,
Yes.
when you was mentioning about relationships and dialysis, what went through my mind is a dating website.
Yeah. It's needed. I mean,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Where people had the same situation going on, same values,
right.
same happenings.
Or just a companion
Yeah, absolutely.
or a friend. It don't have to be relationship. It could just be a friend.
So what you got here, Bridget? I'm gonna put it on solo. Okay, we
Okay.
looking at
I
you.
have I have my mask on. He's getting ready to expose his his sights. He's gonna pull his needles. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you got any questions for Will?
Which needle does he pull first?
Babe.
Pull the Venus. Tell him I pull the Venus first.
He pulls the Venus first,
Okay.
Okay.
and he does the Venus. I was pulling my arterial first.
That should be
And
last.
well,
Mm-hmm.
and see the reason why is because sometimes my blood pressure would drop and I would need to go ahead and give myself some saline. So I
Mm-hmm.
would give it in my Venus.
Venus.
You got it, babe.
Okay.
Okay.
How
So
long does it normally take him to stop bleeding?
4 minutes.
about 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes.
And he's quick because
On each site?
yes, his vascular surgeon put some kind of a gel inside of his access so that he won't bleed out.
Oh.
Now, see, that's something that I never heard of
Uh-uh.
until I got down here. And I've noticed there are more innovative things that they're doing down here than they were doing up in Baltimore.
Wow.
Even
So
with
is this
going in
cartridge
and
still on the
getting,
machine?
I'm sorry.
on his machine? Is the cartridge the kidney? Can we see how the kidney look? Or you threw it away?
Oh no, we already got rid of it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that was quick.
Oh, we don't play.
So can we see the machine?
Sure.
So can you tell us what each piece is?
Okay. Well, this is the actual dialysis machine. Down below is the pure flow, and this holds the dialysate in here. You will put your sac inside of here and connect your line so that the dialysate can roll through the machine. And this is the holder. Can you see
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
for the actual dialyzer?
Oh,
You have
you
your
have next
saline
day.
bag right
Okay.
here. Actually, I'm gonna grab a cartridge out of closet.
So that's the station set up for him.
This is
That's
my
his
machine.
area. Oh
That's
yeah, that's
his.
what you did say. He had a table next to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
This is the other chair and stuff, but those are supplies,
Wow,
and then the closet.
Okay.
that's a nice little setup.
That
Oh,
is.
thank you.
Y'all got like right next to each other. Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful.
Um, this is the pack that the cartridge comes in. So that's the
Okay,
dialyzer and all of the tubing. I don't know if it's too dark.
everything comes together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you put that inside the machine,
And it clicks in.
and then you have to do the snap and tap to get all the
Mm.
air lines, the air out, and everything to make sure all of the saline gets through properly and that it's flowing. Now, with him this morning, well, this evening, there was air in the dialyzer.
Mm.
So we had to put a syringe on, hold the air out, and make sure there was no clotting or anything in there because if you get the tiniest bit of air inside of there,
Yes.
that
It's like,
machine is not going to work.
yep.
And then any blood that's in there, you're going to lose. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to end up clotting off. And
Wow.
he's finished with that.
Does he get heparin?
Yes, I do.
Yes. And that's one of the things. Remember, in Baltimore, um, you could give heparin in Baltimore. The Tex could. In
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, Tex cannot give heparin.
Yeah, I remember that. I used to work there. Yeah.
So that I give myself. Well, we give ourselves Epogen. That was one thing Tex could not do. The nurses had to give the Epogen and all the meds and stuff. I have an iron deficiency, so I have to go into the center to get an iron infusion.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I don't do. But outside of that, we literally do what they pay somebody else to do.
Yep. Pretty much.
And you have your independence.
Absolutely. If we want to go out and do something, we go out and do it,
Oh.
and we come back here. I mean, a lot of times, I'm gonna tell you, I got clothes on today just because we were doing this interview. If
Uh-huh.
I would have left my pajamas on.
Oh, hey Bridget,
Yes.
do they tell you how to intervene if you have a complication during treatment?
Oh yes, you go through all steps of troubleshooting and see the wonderful part about it. Next stage, they are awesome. If anything happens, we can call. They answer the phone. They walk you through it. They do not get off the phone until it's resolved. And when I tell you they're knowledgeable, and I don't want to sound not politically correct, but they speak English. It's not a language barrier or anything like that. They communicate with you. They know these machines and possible complications, front, back, left, right, up, down. There is no way that you would run into a jam and it not be resolved. You know what I mean? Without their assistance.
Right.
So, I mean, I will say this: home dialysis is not for everybody. I'm gonna say that if you're lazy, it's not for you. You know, but if you want to take control of how you're living and your day and what it is you're doing and feeling better, because I'm not tired like I was.
That's a big thing.
I can get, like, when I get off the machine, I can go grocery shopping. You know what I mean? I can go do there were times that I got on my bike and rode after getting off the machine. It wouldn't be a long ride, but I'm good. You know what I mean? So that was the thing that was really bothering me. That after dialysis nap, and you got to take a whole evening and part of the next day to feel good, and then turn around and go do it again.
Right.
So I truly advocate for anyone that has the means and the space to do home dialysis to actually do it. If you don't have enough storage space for these supplies, this is not going to work for you.
Right. What has been some of the challenges of doing home dialysis for you?
um, Doing those things throughout the day, like the running around and stuff like that. The only downfall, I don't like getting on the machine after 4 o'clock, because that doesn't mean that I'm getting off after 9, 10, and I don't like that. But it's still getting done. You know what I mean? Just the downfall, just the space. I have now. You got to keep in mind the supplies for myself and my husband take up the 4th bedroom in our house. So we have supplies in this closet in this room, the hall closet, and it's taking up the whole other 4th bedroom. So that would be it. You know, if you don't have the space for it, it can be cumbersome, but it's doable. You know, all things are possible. You just gotta want to do it, Steve. You know, and like I was saying to you before, cannulation. I know that was one of my biggest fears. Self-cannulation. Like, oh my
Right.
God, am I gonna be able to do this? That needle is huge. It's big. And then I'm like, is the vein big enough? Am I going to feel it? Am I going to puncture it? Am I going to go through the other side of it? Am I going to infiltrate myself? Have not had a problem.
Wow.
Have not had a problem. And Will does pretty good himself too. So
Let me ask you, have you ever let Will stick you or you stuck Will?
I have cannulated Will. Will has not cannulated me.
Wow.
Cause I'm ready. I'm on it now. I know how to do it. I'm like, yeah, I do this part. You know, but
Right.
I have to say, we play RN for each other. You know what I mean? When he's on, I'll act like, you know, I'm Nurse Ratchet for and he'll do it for me. He's excellent about making water, changing the water, testing the water. You know, he's like maintenance
The
man.
technical part of it.
Oh yeah, he's all over that. I'm the one. I stock, reload. I get our packs together. You know what I mean, so that he can come up and just grab and get on.
Right.
So we work together. We literally work together. You
Hey,
know,
Bridget.
flush the lines, do the maintenance on the machines, wiping down the chair, you know, the machines and all. Yeah.
Hey, Bridget.
Yes.
Can we see you for a second?
Sure.
Now we down to the end of the broadcast. Actually, we could go a couple more minutes, but what before we go, we just can you share with anyone watching right now who may um, a kidney warrior that may be at a clinic that may be interested in someone or in a relationship. Can, can you give them words of advice or encouragement of what worked for you and Will?
I can honestly say to you from the gate, we were honest with each other. We were, and I mean, you can even have him speak on this. I'll have him speak on this a little bit too. We were absolutely, totally transparent, honest with each other. What we had going on, what we had to offer, what we would accept, and what we would not accept. None of that. Okay, I'm gonna be coy and try to get them on a hook, and then once I get them on a hook, I'm gonna change up. No, at even our first dinner together, I was not ordering just a salad. I got a steak. I got me a potato. I brought extra binders. I took my binders. I'm going to eat. This is me, 100 grand. I'm not going to do the switcheroo on you. I explained to him that I have a personal walk with Christ. And if he had a problem with that, then he needed to go. And he was like, I'm fine because I have a personal relationship with Christ.
Mm.
That works. You know what I mean? Just be honest with who you are and where you're at in this journey. If you need help, look, I'm having problems dealing with my phosphorus and my fluid. You're having problems with your phosphorus or fluid, or you got it under control. What are you doing? Can you just walk with me and we can do this together?
Right.
Type of thing. Every day you can meet somebody and they may not be where you're at, but you can certainly be willing to assist them to get them where they need to be so y'all will be okay.
Right.
And that's kind of, but I'm gonna let you talk to Will.
Sure.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Will.
And
How
I
you
want to,
doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. I really appreciate y'all, especially this kind of education, because that's the one aspect of it that people don't understand. The education is key to. We were educated by some really, really good nurses and tech.
Mm-hmm.
When I say Spivey,
DeVita
DeVita,
Spivey. Mm-hmm.
they were incredible. And the education, the self knowledge empowered you so much that you want to do it. And that's what we've been talking about. Once you get the education for it, it'll help out a lot of the fear. Like you said, the needles. That's all fear. But the one thing I enjoy more than anything, I'm on this journey with my beautiful wife, who I love dearly. Mm-hmm. And we doing it.
Hey, Will.
Yeah.
So, how long were you at the facility before Bridget arrived?
I was there about 4 years.
4 years.
About 4 years before she arrived.
Okay. So, what was it about Bridget that drew you to her than any other kidney warrior that walked through those doors at that facility? Because they say Georgia have a lot of Georgia peaches.
Yes, they do. But her demeanor by itself, the way she carried herself, the way she reacted to people. I said, okay, I'm gonna talk to her, just see what it's about.
She
And
was a challenge.
the first conversation, I fell in love with her. So I knew right then
Okay,
that's what it was. I was like the conversation, just the way she carried herself,
right.
and it just something draw me to her.
Let me ask you. Bridget said, oh, you just mentioned that. Oh no, Bridget said that you has said that you have a personal relationship with Christ,
Yes, I do.
as well as she do. Before you met her, is this something that you prayed on, meeting someone that you could kind of maybe live out your life with in spite of kidney disease?
Steve, let me tell you, I was at the point where I thought I was depressed. I got on my knees and said, Lord, I'm gonna put this in your hands. I'm not dating anymore. I'm just gonna let you I'm gonna let you send my blessing to me. Now, that's what a lot of people don't do.
Oh,
Okay. Yes. Hey, Will, can you just? I know we're not going to hold you too long, but this is very important because a lot of guys talk about this who may deal with kidney disease and can't meet someone because of the disease. What words of encouragement can you get? Can you give them being where you was and where you're at now?
I would tell them honestly, be 100 with the person. Let them know. Get them a little aspect of what you're dealing with, so take the fear away from them. And they got a lot to do with it. They fear because they don't know.
right.
But when you talk to them, and like I said, I keep it 100 with you. That's the type of person I am. I'm gonna always be like that. I wasn't gonna sugarcoat anything. I want to tell the truth. We put all the cards on the table, and no cards were right there together. So you be real and just keep it real with them, and just be honest and try to do some kind of education because they don't know. And that's what a lot of it is. They don't have a clue. They just feel, oh, that dialysis, I'm gonna run. And I'm like, nah. I live every day just like you do. Yeah. Trust me.
Uh-huh.
We gonna fight regardless.
Right. Wow. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We're definitely happy for y'all, man. This is
Yes.
beautiful.
Well, I appreciate that. I thank y'all because, like I said, people like y'all they get that out and explain this to people. People need to hear that. And like I said, like now, the education still got me excited because I want to learn more. I'm starting to read stuff. I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to research stuff, and you want to do that. Once you do start doing it, you want to know as much as you can.
And I mean, it's encouraged us to become more of advocates.
Mm-hmm.
Getting out, talking to
Yeah,
other people, going to clinics, and explaining like, okay, you can get out and do stuff. You
exactly.
don't have to be tied to the house or tied to the bed or not go on vacation.
And that's what I hate about
We
it.
done been on vacation 3 times this year.
Yes, we have.
Wow.
And plan on going on another one soon. So
Vegas, baby.
we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, yeah. They got clinics out in Vegas.
We live our life to the fullest. So, and then by
That's
having our
good.
own dials, we
Yes.
actually can take the machine with us.
Yep.
So
Oh,
that
that's
changed the
right.
game altogether. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to worry about the dials. We got it right there with us.
We don't want to go to a clinic. We can do it in our
We can do it
room.
in our room.
So don't
Wow.
they ship the supplies to you guys there?
Yeah, like if we were to take a cruise, they're sending supplies to the boat first.
Right. Right.
All we
Right.
got to do is bring the machine. That's it.
Yeah.
So I just
Wow.
like I said, just educate yourself and believe. Go forward,
Mm-hmm.
not backwards.
Yes, I
Absolutely.
like that. Go
Absolutely.
forward, not backward.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're about to head this show down.
All right, now I
Hey,
appreciate it.
Will, thanks for coming on and talking with us, man. We appreciate your words of wisdom and even just letting us witness you, taking yourself off the machine
Yeah,
far
I
as pulling
appreciate it.
your needles because I know, some people don't like for other people to see that procedure, but thank you for being forthright with us and,
I
you
don't
know,
mind. Anything I can do, please let me know. I appreciate you, cause like I said, y'all are doing a wonderful job, and me and my wife are gonna be talking about this the rest of the night anyway. We gonna
oh
be.
yeah, I appreciate you. We just, I mean, we're two healthcare workers that just trying to make a difference. And as your wife would tell you, this is really ironic because Tamika, we met. I mean, we knew each other just on Facebook, but she came down when your wife had a motorcycle ride outside
Yeah.
the dialysis unit, and that's when Tamika and I met face to face for the very first time. And
Okay.
yeah, yeah, and for us to be back on here full circle years later
Yep.
and talking with your wife, and she's married to you on home dialysis, and me and Tamika doing this. This is only God doing this.
He
Yes.
lining that
It is
road up.
meant to
He lining that
happen. It
road
is
up.
meant to happen.
So what we
Yeah.
do?
Oh, I wanted to ask Bridget one more thing
All right,
before
hold
we
on.
go.
Well, appreciate it. I'll let you talk to her.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Hey.
hey, Bridget. Before
Yeah.
we go, can you just share with the audience about what you do on the side, your business that helps you just with putting good products out there as far as the bakery?
Oh, okay. The name of the company is Candy Rain Creations, and I make sweet treats, custom crafts, cakes, pies, things of that nature. And it all kind of started from me bringing stuff into my job and people enjoying it and then wanting more of it. But then as I got ill, I poured myself more into it, learning more of the craft, and it actually supplements,
Mm.
all the things that I can't cover from my disability. People give donations and things of that nature, for my sweet treats and things of that nature, so that we can make ends meet, because everything isn't covered.
Right,
It just
right.
really isn't. And also, I wanted to touch on the Ride to Live, the Candy Rain Ride to Live. It's a
Absolutely.
motorcycle ride that I was hosting each year, and it was to spread awareness for kidney disease and diabetes. And with that education, I'm also seeking a O positive kidney donor. And I understand the more people that I reach and I talk to and I touch opens up the possibility for someone to donate, even if they're not a living donor and they change their driver's license over to be an organ donor. You can save so many, not just on a kidney tip, on so many different levels. And right now, we will be hosting a ride down here in McDonough, Georgia, around September. I'm securing a location and a date so that we can spread the awareness down here and also look for
Awesome.
kidneys. Now, the thing of it is, these kidneys that I'm seeking are not just for me. They're for anyone who needs one.
Mm-hmm.
Far be it from me to stop someone, that has a kidney that can give it to somebody else. That's just
Hmm.
one less
Right.
person that'll be on dialysis.
Right.
And it all started in honor of my mother, and subsequently I had two sisters pass away from
Mm.
diabetes and kidney related complications. So
Mm.
it's I'm fighting for them, not just for me, but I'm living on to fight for their memory. You know,
Right.
um, I have a segment where I release balloons that are for any kidney warriors that have passed, and
Yeah, I
I do
remember
that
that.
for my mom. Yeah,
Mm.
for my mom and my two siblings, and then I offer anyone that's in the crowd that may be suffering or had someone that's dealing with and or passed, to do that memorial for their loved one. And I I understand that kidney disease and diabetes are kind of like becoming the norm around,
Mm.
and people are turning a blind eye to it. Like,
Mm.
oh, they just have diabetes, they'll be all right, they'll take some insulin, they're all right, or they need a kidney, it's not like they have cancer, they can just go get another kidney. I want to know what meat market they're going to get kidneys, because I'll be the first one in line. You know what I mean? That's why I think that education is so important, so people can stop
Mhm.
making ignorant choices like that,
Mm.
to say things, making the ignorant choice to say stuff like that,
Right.
or react to a patient in that manner,
Right.
because it's not fair. I mean, it I need a kidney to live. My husband needs a kidney to live, and
Mm.
I'm not gonna give up until we both get them.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. So we will ride each mile just in awareness, to just bring some attention, so that people can understand that we are here and that we want to live.
Right.
Absolutely. All right,
Awesome.
Bridget, you said a lot, man. I mean, definitely appreciate you coming on and sharing your story.
Oh, I thank you for the opportunity to put it out there. I know there were a lot of people that were curious, like, how this girl moved down to Georgia and 6 months later she engaged, and 6 months after that she get married. How she do that? You know what I
How
mean?
about that's none of their business?
Hey, what's for me is for me.
Oh,
And
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah. Like I told you before, Bridget, I'm definitely very proud of you because I've known you when you was here in Baltimore and just seen some of your progress and challenges that you've been through, and to see you now happy, smiling, and
Mhm.
you have a great husband. I mean, it's just I don't know how I mean, I'm just very proud of you, and just so
thank you.
happy
I'm
for
not
you.
I'm not cussing out nurses and techs anymore. I'm not bitching no more. Not
Right.
giving anybody act right.
Right. Anybody want to say hello to?
Just anyone who's listening, shout out to my Catonsville crew and Maryland. Although I'm not there in the clinic, I do miss you guys. There were some very good, positive relationships built and brought together there at that clinic. All the times were not bad. You know what I mean? There were good times. I do, although I have issues with some things with Davita, I thank Davita, because if not for them, I would not still be alive. You know, um, that just thank you. Big shout out to Davita Spivey for everything that they have taught my husband and I, and getting us on the right path of where we need to be, so that we can live longer and be healthy and actually have the energy to live life, and
Mm.
not just be stuck in the
Mhm.
bed. And especially thank you to Natasha, our nurse,
I
for
was going to
introducing.
ask you, did you
Yeah.
know her? She sent me a friend request. How
Oh,
you doing,
Natasha.
Natasha? And she was on this feed. So
Yeah, awesome,
hang tough,
wonderful. When
hang
I
tough.
tell you, she is an absolute wonderful, beautiful spirit. When I tell you, and she cares about her patients. Oh, she'll dig in your tail when you're wrong.
Right.
She will dig in your tail, but she will give you that love. Winsome, Jasmine, uh, Alicia, Lexus, Shay, all of them, awesome. Ernest, Akita,
Wow.
all of them, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome when I tell you. And I mean, I would not be telling you that for fluff. There's some people, you know,
Hmm.
we gonna go around that. But being quite honest, there are good people in dialysis. There are good nurses that are out there that care about you. There are good doctors.
Absolutely.
Also, shout out, praise God, given our nephrologist passed away,
Oh.
and she fought for us. She really, really fought for us, and she wanted to see us make it to home dialysis so that we would be better. My plight with home dialysis was because I have gastroparesis really bad, and I would have to get on and off and on and off the machine. And it's just easier for me to stay home and finish my treatment and not
Mhm.
miss treatments. And you miss treatments, They take you off the transplant list. You're non-compliant. They don't care how you got off the machine. All they know is those numbers, and they're seeing you only ran an hour and 45 minutes and you left. You
Right.
know what I mean? They don't know why. So this was the better move. So our mission is to make her proud that we're doing this and that we're gonna get kidneys. We're gonna do it. Not just for ourselves, but in honor of her memory. So Dr. Kumar, shout out. Yep.
All right. All right. All right, Bridget. Again, we like to thank you for taking the time, you and Will, to share your story, show us the process of Will pulling his needle, and just sharing, being candid with us. What'd you say, Tamika?
You're very candid, and I think people needed to see that too. The needle pulling, just home dialysis. A lot of times you don't get to see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's
This
Mm-hmm.
is
kind of
real.
like hidden. A lot of people don't show them on the machine, and to see him on the machine maybe made someone else maybe want to do home dialysis now.
Well, at least inquire about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? To at least find out if it's for you. Go visit a home hemo clinic. Sit
Right.
down, talk with a nurse, find out your options. There's also PD. There are other options out there, and if you don't take the time to educate yourself, you won't know. Ask questions. There's nothing wrong with
Mhm.
asking a question. You,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? What's the worst thing that can happen if you ask a question? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
we did an education show the other last week. I did one on treatment options.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, there are options out there. You don't have to be stuck in a clinic. And
Right.
even if you are in a clinic, there are things that you can do as a patient to be in control of your treatment. Knowing your dialyzer, knowing how long you should run, knowing your
Mhm.
pump speed, feeling the difference. If you're cramping, the first thing they want to do is dump saline in you. No, turn that pump speed down.
Exactly.
And you
Right.
got to be able to tell them that. No, I don't want
Sound
anything.
like a
Turn the
tech.
pump speed down. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it. That's all. That little thing could save
Make
you.
sure your bath is correct too.
Amen. You better.
Okay. Make sure that needle is correct too.
Oh,
Make sure
see,
they're not sticking you in the same spot. Don't get me
hey,
started.
well, see, these are all little things that if you don't know, all you're told is come in, sit down,
Mm-hmm.
let me stick you. You know what I
Bridget,
mean? You
I
want the
got one.
TV? You know, after they get finished sticking you, you want the TV?
And Bridget, make sure they're washing their hands.
Oh yeah.
Wearing that mask.
Okay.
Yeah, PPE,
Yeah,
yes. Yes, just
absolutely.
simple things. So if you don't know, you know better, you do better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, Bridget.
All
You
right. Well,
already
I
shut it
appreciate
down, but
I
again,
appreciate you.
thanks for coming on. We
Okay,
love
I
you.
will keep you
And
abreast of when the ride is and what's going on, so that you can come down and present your information and everything, and be a part of the educational piece that we
absolutely.
offer all of the attendees.
All
Yeah.
right, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
I'll even make sure I got some vegan stuff for you, because I know you don't partake in the meat and stuff no
Right.
more.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. Maybe some grilled cauliflower, grilled fish.
Okay, that works
Yeah,
for me.
I eat seafood.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right,
Well,
Bridget.
you
Take
take
care.
care.
Be talking with you soon. Again, thanks for coming on. Love you. Proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
talk with you soon.
Okay, talk to you. Congratulations again, Tamika.
Thank you.
All right. Good
All
night.
right.
Good
Hey, Tamika. So we like to thank everyone for tuning in. You
night.
see little Zoe with Tamika. Oh, she sleep?
I think so. She was
Oh, okay.
crying. No, she up. She up for right now.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
guys. Well, Tamika, see you next Thursday. But I want to, try to get up there next week. After the first of the year.
Okay.
From the Philly.
Okay. I'll be here. I
All right,
can't
guys.
wait.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in for Urban Renal Talk with Tamika and Steve. We see you next week with another special guest. Talk to
Take
y'all soon.
care, everyone. Good night.
Good night, y'all. See you, Tamika.
See you, Steve.